I am DYANAROZAY, and I bring a unique commentary to your favorite reality TV shows and whatever is popping on social media. If you are not a subscriber, please become one. Hit that notification bell too, that way you don't miss any of my videos. I go by DYANAROZAY on all platforms, and I appreciate every single one of y'all for rocking with me. What's up, Supreme Team, and welcome to the channel. It's your girl, DYANAROZAY, and we are here to chit chat, okay, to talk about gossip and some other things in the news. And I also, if you had an opportunity to see my review from yesterday, child, I had to go research some things and bring y'all some receipts. So come on in. Welcome to the chat, Lady D Keys. Anybody that you see with a wrench behind their name like Lady D, make sure that you say hello and what's up. So say hello to her, please, and thank you. She's volunteering her time. And my snarky friend is also in the chat, okay? I've never met Kevin, but Kevin is my friend in my head. He's my friend in my head. What's up, Kevin? Welcome to the chat. What's up, Virginia? Hey, Miss Kelly, welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in, child. We got some stuff that we need to get squared away, okay? It is nice to see every single one of y'all. All right. And I hope y'all are having some good weather, child, because the weather here is schizophrenic. It starts off rainy and cold, and then all of a sudden it's snowing, then it's sunny. Oh my goodness. Come on in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I stayed up so late last night. I am tired. Oh my goodness. What's up, Covington? Nice to have you. Memphis, what is up? Hey, hey, hey. Welcome to the show, child. Nice to have you. So yeah, we're going to get into it, y'all, because, you know, might as well. If y'all did not get a chance to see my last two reviews, please check them out. I reviewed Love and Marriage Huntsville yesterday, and then I reviewed Heart and Soul earlier today, okay? Hey, Gloria. Nice to have you. Happy to see you. You're in Georgia, just came home today, rainy and breezy. Yeah, it started off rainy this morning. I thought I was going to go out and run my errands, get my walk-in, child. I walked outside like, why is it happening every day? And now it is sunny and gorgeous enough, child. But if I try to go out there, who knows? Georgia is the most unpredictable weather. Anyway, y'all didn't come to hear about that. I'm not the weatherman, okay? So let's move on. First, I do want to talk about my community wall real quick, because I put a lot of work into this, and it is talking about Black excellence, okay? You were incredibly tired yesterday. Oh my goodness. The body doesn't recover the way you used to when you was young, child. You'd sleep 2 hours, pop out of bed like, I am ready. If you do that now, plop, you'll fall right on your face. At least I would. But yeah, I was incredibly tired. Okay, so I put a lot of work into this community wall, because I heard y'all asking for it, saying, you don't see a lot of Black excellence. You got to kind of type things into your computer and ask questions, but it'll pop up, once you train your algorithm to look for certain things, it'll pop up. And then sometimes you can just ask, because every once in a while, I like to know who's doing what in our community, our overall community, child. I claim all success as us. You understand? What is up, Ken? Kim, nice to have you, Miss Kim. So let me get this out the way first. I shouldn't say out the way. This is actually good news. We should start it off with some good news. That way, when we start gossiping and shit, you know what I'm saying? Y'all feel real good about yourselves. It won't be that big of a deal. What is up, Bama girl? Nice to have you in the chat. I don't know if y'all can see that. That looks small, doesn't it? Hold on, let me see if I can blow it up a little bit. Is that good? You might have to stretch your screen just a little bit to see the language, but it doesn't matter because I'm going to read it to you, okay? Weightlifting, stretching water, peptides will help you age gracefully. I do part of that. I haven't taken peptides regularly, however. Okay, here we go. So this is the picture. Here's the two guys that I am talking about today. I started off saying good morning. I hope y'all make it great, like Sanj, Laron, and Dave Salvant. Okay, these two friends that literally just met at a party. Okay, I think a couple of parties. They was partying hard. These two are the duo behind the Barbershop app called Squire. I don't know if y'all heard of that, but they just built an app, and then all of a sudden it went up for valuation, and they said it was worth $750 million. Forbes got involved. Child started tracking it and said that it was fast on its way to being $1 billion empire. Now, let me tell you how these two, a little bit more about these two. So LaRon, who is on the left, child, with the black shirt, LaRon, his name is Sanj LaRon. He actually is a Yale graduate. You saw this post on my YouTube before. Yes, I've put this out before. He's a Yale graduate, ended up going, graduated, became a corporate lawyer for some really high profile law firm. Okay, I'm talking too fast. Really high profile law firm, was making a lot of money, child, but not enough for him. Okay, not enough. And then he ends up meeting this guy who was also college graduate, became a financier, worked for JP Morgan. The two of them started brainstorming and said, what could put us on the fast track? And they decided to build an app. Neither one of them had a tech career, any type of background in tech. And they said, we're not going to let that shit stop us, okay? We've looked at the fastest way to make money, and this is it. So they end up building an app called Squire, which is kind of like a concierge type of application for barbershops. It's almost like a QuickBooks, but you can schedule there, you can make payments there. You can pretty much run every facet of your operations there, okay? So after they build it, they start shopping it around to other barbershops or shopping it around to barbershops to see if they would take them on, if they would, take on the app. And they were turned down flat on their face, okay? I think they went to about 5 shops. They told them no. They went home and said, if we want this to work, we're going to have to put it to work for ourselves. So they had enough money to buy a barbershop. Again, no background in it. They said, we don't give a shit. We're going to sweep the floors. We just want to know how this app actually works. So they buy a barbershop. They hire 12 barbers. The place stays full. They're using their app, and basically they're refining it, getting it ready to shop it again. And they do, and it takes off like lightning. Literally. Now the app is being ran throughout the United States, Canada, and the UK. They have had over $1 billion in sales cross that app. Okay. And yeah, it's a big deal. Again, just so that we can be proud. Sometimes, child, thank you, Pacino. Say congratulations to them brothers, okay? Sometimes we get hard on each other talking about, you don't have no background in such and such, and why would you do that, right? You start calling people stupid. You done wasted that good ass law degree at Yale. You know what I'm saying? They just had a dream, and they said, ain't nothing gonna stop us from getting there. And in 2021, the business was, again, it had a valuation of $750 million, already being used in 3 countries, okay? I don't know. I think we doing, listen, is there always room for another millionaire or billionaires? Facts. Absolutely, especially if they look like us. But yeah, get up, see what these young people are doing. I think sometimes the older people, we get a little too, because we don't see it, we start attacking them, but they really out here moving and shaking, okay? So yeah, I thought that was a great story. Our job, after y'all listen to it, is to pass this on. Talk about it at the water cooler. Talk about it to your grandkids. Encourage them. You know what I'm saying? A little conversation, even if they overhear it, it's stuff that you remember when you grow up. And that's how you become an entrepreneur. That's how you say, I can do it myself. All right. Okay. Taking this down, child. Let me get my other story up. Ta-da. Removing that. All right. All right. All right. What else can I talk about? Oh, that forehead, child. Come on in. What's up? Is Miss Tina here? Hey, Miss Tina, I don't think I saw you. Welcome to the chat. Okay, the next person. This just happened today. So let's get this out the way first. Because I was actually a little surprised. Every day is something new. Okay, every day is something new. So let me get this story up. And it has to do with the orange one, okay? Hey, everybody, welcome to the chat. Please hit the like button for me. We're talking hot topics, and then we're going to go into some tea about the Scott 2.0 and Jalen. I don't know if he calls himself Scott. No, he calls himself Grant. He got a daddy, right? His last name is Grant. Come on in. Is Chronic here too, child? I don't see anybody. What's up, Chronic? Nice to have you, my friend. Nice to see you. I love to see you guys come over. Okay, so listen, y'all see it? President Trump has invoked the Home Rule Act of 1973, putting the DC Metropolitan Police Department under federal control. Okay, this happened a little earlier today. He made the announcement. I think there were some insiders who talked about it yesterday. They talked about it yesterday, and I was like, let me just make sure that this is actually happening, and it has. And basically, all of the police is under federal rule right now. And this is an act that's not invoked very often. Very rarely is this done, but it usually requires a whole lot of crazy stuff going on in the streets, like, people looting, rioting. It's gone on for days. People take invoking this act very, very seriously. Trump is using it to, if I'm reading this correctly, remove the homeless from downtown, and then also he said, to get crime off the streets. There's a lot of people saying that this is a travesty in Congress. They're saying they haven't seen anything like this before, and that this is probably a setup for something that is going to happen in the future by him doing this right now. They also said that crime is down by 30% in DC, which is a huge deal. They said it's the lowest it's ever been. Thank you, Lady D Keys. You are always on top of things. I appreciate that. So yeah, let's see what's going on. Diana is bringing us the information. Child, I'm trying, child. We need to keep our eyes on this. This is serious, okay? You don't even have to be doing anything. You could be taking the groceries from the grocery store to your car, from the door to your car, and end up in some sort of trouble, especially with somebody that's overly zealous. And y'all know what I'm talking about. You can, you kind of afraid of just the police department under the rule of the mayor. Now we have them under the rule of the federal government. So this is a lot, you know what I'm saying? This is what they are saying is going on right now, though. Whew. Again, he's saying it is to remove the homeless from the downtown area, and basically to clean up any place that he believes to be riddled with crime. This is not going to end well. I promise you it's not. And we are only in the month of August, child. It feels like 12 long years already. Okay. But yeah, let's move on to another story. I'll let y'all talk to me in the chat. What's up, Kansas City? Nice to have you. Appreciate you. You said that you pray every night for your son who is enlisted in the military. Yeah, pretty much I pray for him too. Okay. But yeah, we got a lot going on right here on US soil. From what I was reading, there is a lot of police departments with military equipment. They've been stockpiling it for a while, okay, which suggests that they may think there's something going on that we aren't too familiar with. But there's a lot of camps. There's a lot of camps. I heard there's one in Memphis. I've been reading about that. The FBI supposedly is paying close attention to that, ran by a Proud Boy. But they say that the number of artillery that is on that farm with hundreds of people that don't look like me, okay, don't share anything, okay, that I have. They said that it is insane, but we haven't seen anybody go over there and, fix things or try to control what's happening there. They just are watching it from afar. But how many people are going to go before something bad happens? You know what I'm saying? Keep your eyes on it. Grant is Bone Carrier Kimmy's maiden name. Her dad wanted it that way. Okay, child, look. She said Grant is the Bone Carrier Kimmy's maiden name. Her dad wanted it that way. That's what Kimmy said on the show. Okay. I think I remember you saying, I think I remember her saying that. Absolutely. Yes, I would. I would have a problem with it if it was under the previous administration, because it feels like the war is against us. So every step of the way, it feels like the government is about to enact war or invoke war on the citizens, and the citizens are kind of screaming out the same thing. But if you pay attention to what is happening with some of these, there's no other way to put it. They're literally supremacist farms it's being erected all over the country. The biggest one right now is in Tennessee, which I'm near, you know what I'm saying? So it's scary. It's scary. There's a bunch of us who are completely oblivious. There's a bunch of us who are completely oblivious to it, and we're going to have to get unoblivious. I know people have been saying you need to stockpile food and water and, make sure you have a generator and things like that so that you can survive whatever is suggested to be coming. But people have been talking about this shit for a minute. And to be honest, I've been paying attention to what a certain group of people have been doing to fight, and it's not us. Yeah, this is it. Pretty accountant, you hit the nail on the head. Sometimes we don't think about it because we're like, oh, it doesn't matter. It's just our state government. What does matter is war. War could happen with us right here. We're just too comfortable. We're too comfortable with thinking that nothing will happen. And that's literally it. That's never been the case. Yep. Yep. Okay, we're moving on. I appreciate y'all. Hit that like button for me, please, and thank you. Let me get my little sign up. Okay, here we go. Hit the like button. Just a reminder, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're not a subscriber already. Share the video, child, because that is how others find me. I need that algorithm to go to work. That's all. Y'all don't have to do anything but touch the button, and then the algorithm will do the rest. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, let's get to the next story. Thank y'all for coming in, though. I appreciate you. Let's talk about something else that's been crazy. I mentioned this the other day when I was telling y'all that there is lab created salmon, the fish. So it has been approved to be sold at stores and in restaurants, but they are supposed to let us know before we buy it. Looks like it, they say it tastes like it. However, it is cells that is grown in a lab, okay, in a little petri dish until it does its thing, and then you get the salmon. I don't even like salmon, so I'll never eat it. I'll never eat it. But I should say never, right? But we got something new on the horizon. I told y'all the way they are creating this food for us to eat, and it seems to only be happening in the United States at the speed of light, child. Now, there are other countries that's doing this, but in the United States, it's being done faster than anything. But right now, check it out, because y'all know Bill Gates is heavy in this stuff. He is now producing a butter made without animal plants or oils. Instead, it's created from carbon captured from the air and hydrogen from water. They say that it tastes like butter, that it looks like butter, it performs like butter, and that it tastes like butter. So, ooh, we're in the time of the Jetsons. Look, Miss Tina said, not surprised. Everything is going to be manufactured in the lab. Okay. We are in the times of the Jetsons right now. Okay. They said that this is a startup that's backed by Bill Gates. This is a startup that's backed by Bill Gates. They've developed this revolutionary butter alternative that's made entirely without any type of animal, plants, or oils. Instead, it's crafted from carbon dioxide. The result is a buttery fat that tastes and behaves like traditional butter, but with a dramatically lower environmental footprint. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people who eats this for sure. But y'all see that last comment right underneath the picture? Somebody said, listen, if y'all can do this, y'all can cure cancer. What is going on, child? That is funny. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of people trying it. I did eat that Incredible Burger. I've had a couple of those. I have had the Incredible Burger. And I might try this damn butter. I'm not going to lie. Oh, hell no, child. I might try it. But butter has been the only thing that tastes like butter to me. I can't believe it's not butter or any of that stuff. I eat the real thing. I like a nice piece of buttered bread, child, every once in a while. But I just thought that's a lot. That's a lot. Okay. Keep talking to me in the comments. Hit the like button, share the video, y'all. Oh, Chronic said, not me. You can have it. I will not try it. Okay. What is up, Shirley? Nice to have you. Marcy says she'll try it. Okay. Me and Marcy's going to take one for the team. We'll take one for the team. We'll tell y'all what it's like. Right now, it doesn't sound too dangerous, but I think that's hilarious. What's up, friend? Nice to have you. Look, Miss Tina said he also wanted to test the people in Africa with the BC. That'll last for about 8 to 9 years, and they turned him down. Tracy said, I love my Alabama butter. Okay. Okay. Oh, Mercy said, bitch, don't put me in that. Oop. She said, I said real butter. Mercy said, you're going to take this by yourself. What do you mean, we? I don't speak French. All right, Mercy, no problem. I understand, girl. Come on in, everyone. Hit the like button. Share the video, please. And thank you, child. We're talking about what's going to happen next, child. Every 5 seconds, they got something going on over there. They got rid of the FDA and all kinds of authoritative bodies that's supposed to protect us. And now we got Waymos taking over the street, robots running up and down the street, child delivering food. And now we got fake food too. It is what it is. All right, let's move on. Let me see what else I can talk to y'all about. Let's see. Let's talk about Andy Cohen, child. He's getting a little more persnickety in his old age, child. Yelling at Martina Martina over there on Real Housewives of Miami. What's up, Baltimore, Maryland? Nice to have you. Um, Over there getting persnickety about his about surrogacy. Y'all know Andy Cohen likes to give people the jackal of the day, but this time he just said the lady's dumb. Okay, he says she's dumb. How about that? Did a whole conversation, I guess, over there on his radio show. That's where Andy really likes to let people have it. Let's see. Have you been to Slutty Vegan? Yes, multiple times. That's where the Impossible Burger is sold. Now, I did have it before I went to Slutty Vegan, though. You can buy it at like Trader Joe's and Whole Foods, I think. But I've been there a couple of times. It is a real, I like the restaurant. If that's the one that is Pinky Cole, she has a husband. I think it's Dave something. Yeah, so it was okay. It was good. It was good. I have it probably not very often, but I do have it. Anyway, Andy Cohen ends up being asked what he thought about Martina. Y'all know she was kind of against the surrogacy thing with her partner, and she ended up giving into it. They've adopted 2 little Black babies, and now Martina is a mama for the first time. Okay, she didn't want the surrogacy. She wanted, she doesn't believe in it, and some people don't believe in it. Anyway, Andy Cohen ripped her a damn new one. It says Andy Cohen, who has welcomed 2 children of his own via surrogate, addressed the former tennis player's controversial comment on his radio show, Sirius XM. So not only do the girls have to worry about what Andy says on his platform, Watch What Happens Live, but they gotta watch out for what he says over there on that radio show. He said that Martina is ill-informed and dumb. He took it very, very, he took it bad. He took it poorly that she would make such comments about surrogacy. So what do y'all think about that, child? Andy Cohen doesn't really give a damn. He's probably one of the worst offenders, but I enjoy it. But a lot of people, they give him a pass for whatever reason, but he does get a little crazy. Martina just ended her career on the Housewives. Is it because of what Andy said that she ended her career? Oh my goodness. Okay, tell us how you really feel, child. Andy doesn't care anymore. If y'all have been paying attention to him, I think one of the things he did maybe a year and a half ago, those little kids, y'all know, they have been running Andy Cohen ragged. Hi, Prosperity Thick Girl. Welcome to the chat. Thanks for speaking on the DC events occurring. No problem. Everybody's welcome into my chat. That's number 1. But follow Prosperity Thick Girl if you are so inclined. Okay, she is a fellow YouTuber. Anyway, what was I going to say? Yeah, at the end of the day, he does not give a damn. And about a year and a half ago, he flipped out in the street on his children. Literally, I think they were probably maybe 3 or 4 years old. One of them wanted to wear a pair of wool pants, and I guess he was hot. And Andy was trying to get him to do something. He wanted him to take the pants off and wear something cooler. Anyway, he started screaming and just like losing his fucking shit in the middle of the street. And then he came on and did an apology. He said, if y'all saw me lose my damn mind in the middle of the street on my kids, I am sorry. He said they got the best of me that day. Okay. Thank you, Miss. Thank you, Lady D Keys. You don't think she's coming back. That's just your opinion. At the beginning, I didn't think she really enjoyed the show. And I didn't know how long she was going to stay on the show. But her partner is a lot. I know that she has a trauma that she's dealing with. Someone kidnapped her child when they were like an infant. And I don't know where she was. I think maybe Russia. Her babysitter or nanny, she was married to this rich man. The babysitter or nanny kidnapped her kid and she never saw him again. But you can see some of that play out in her head. She's been wanting a baby to replace that one. And she has, I think, 2 daughters. Her daughters aren't talking to her because they didn't want her to adopt the child. So she loses a baby. Then she loses the daughters that she, got grown. And now she got 2 young ones that she adopted. Anyway, it's just, you can see the psychological mess that's running through her head right now. Every time I watch that show, I'd be like, child, prayers to you, because you got a lot of shit on your back. Okay, that's a lot. And her wife, Martina, she's not empathetic to her all the time. She gives her hell. Okay. Let's see. In my opinion, that's no excuse for Julia's atrocious behavior. I listen. If you think I agree with Julia putting that water in my girl Gertie's face, you're wrong. I don't agree with that at all. And in fact, I loved that that Gertie and Kiki, they didn't say anything, you know what I'm saying? But Gertie and Kiki was like, bitch, you and me and you. And they've always been like that. I really like them on the show. But I just saw that Kiki unfollowed Gertie, and I don't know why. And I'm going to be sad if next season Kiki and Gertie aren't cool. Okay. But yeah, I know I'm getting off on a tangent with Real Housewives of Miami. It's a great show. Julia is a racist. Where's my ding, 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 ding? I don't have a crystal, but ding, 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 ding. I think so too. And the loss of her children years ago, if anything, should make her more empathetic. Also, the fact that her wife has battled cancer twice. I do think she's a racist. I don't think it's hard to get over a child that got stolen from you. I think that would be something that plays in your head all the time. And just by what she's told us, I know that she's a loop-de-loop about it. I know she is. Okay. But okay. Anyway, enough of that story. We're moving on. Sorry about the going off on a tangent. Let's talk about somebody else from Real Housewives of Miami, though. Okay. We got another person to talk about who is heavy in the news right now. Okay. Sorry about that. Had to get that screen frozen. All right, let's talk about Larsa Pippen and her face. Let's talk about Larsa Pippen and her face real quick. Can y'all see that? So right at the top, you get the old Larsa from back in the day when she was married to Scottie Pippen. And then to the right, it's the new Larsa. Larsa, I believe, might be 50, 51 years old. Look, she is dating a young thing in his 30s who is trying to put a ring on her finger and marry her by the end of the year. That's what he said anyway. And Larsa is trying to keep up. Larsa is trying to keep up and make sure that nobody steals her man, okay? Do it hurt? What hurt, Joe? This is unfortunate what Larsa has done to her face. Well, Larsa told everybody that it's a damn lie. But child, this is scary. Look at that. Look at that. So she was on a TV show. She was interviewing, and when she was talking, you could see, like, what is this part around your mouth? You could see how indented that was, and it made her skin look real dry. There was a whole lot going on with that, okay? But she was like, I do PRM or something like that. That's supposed to be, I don't know, something that has to do with the needles on your face. She was like, that's all she was going to admit to. She said, outside of that, under no circumstances does my face look like that in real life. And let me tell y'all what she said her face actually looks like. Let's take a look. Larsa said, this is my real face. Larsa. Oh my God. She said, this is my real face. Okay. Child. The truth ain't in her. And this is after she this is after all this stuff. Her face looks younger in this photo than it did in the first photo when she was really younger. That's one of her old faces. Child, that's a face that belongs to one of those filters, okay? Larsa knows she don't look like this in real life. I mean, come on. She was not an ugly woman. She allowed Kardashian to influence her and make her look that way. You think it was the Kardashians? Really? She's going to end up like that cat lady or like Mirasol's dearly departed mama. Child, Mirasol's mama was one for the books. Obvious filter, okay? That's the truth. That is a filter. She said, baby, this is what I really look like. She said, I don't know who would put a picture out there with that AI and try to make my face look like that. She said, a bunch of haters, okay? Nobody's hating on you, child. You are a hot mess. I just graduated from aesthetics, and she's a whole lot of to that face. Her skin is like, it's tough like leather. You can tell that skin isn't very soft. I agree. I said the same thing, child. All right. I just wanted to let y'all know, child. Larsa, she is addicted to those injections. We all know it. She was hanging out with the Kardashians hot and heavy until she got caught kissing not Kimmy. Is it Kim? It was Chloe's basketball husband or whatever he is, baby daddy. She took a turn with Chloe's baby daddy, and that's when they cut her off. Okay. They didn't publicly embarrass her like they did the little black girl. They just let her go on her own, from what I'm understanding. All right. Let's talk about Busta Rhymes. Oh, Buster, what it is right now. Buster, what it is right now. That's why more than injections. They're removing their fillers. They're making their asses smaller. The Kardashians are making their butts smaller. There's a lot of people who's actually taken the injections out, those butt injections out. So far, it's been a couple of people. Kim, she reshaped her body. Who else? Black China did. Jordan. Yep, Jordan. They made an example out of Jordan, but they let Larsa Pippen walk. They let Larsa Pippen walk. Okay, let's talk about Busta Rhymes because, baby, we got another one who is being accused. He's being accused by an ex-assistant of being of SA. And the victim is a man. There has been rumors that has been about for as long as I've grew up listening to like a Busta Rhymes. That was a part of my teenage years, my youth. So there's been rumors about him for a long time. My first time going to Freaknik, the first time I ever went to Freaknik in Atlanta, we drove down here. We were in the same hotel with Busta Rhymes and a whole bunch of other rappers, child. We thought we were doing something. But the rumor that is out there was that he's always been, doing his thing with a whole lot of folks. Even after he had gotten married and had a son and the whole nine. Okay, Larsa Pippen is a Temu Kardashian. We got Temu Kardashian. What is her name? Someone sent me that information the other day. Let me see. Hold on. They called Trump the Temu. The Timu Hitler child. Jasmine Crockett called him that. She done got on the mic, child, and called him the Timu Hitler child. That's crazy. He's been on the DL. I didn't want to believe Buster was gay. Size. Hilarious. Allegedly. We don't know. This is all alleged, child. You can file some charges on anybody, right? The Timu Nicki Minaj. Britt Edie is a Timu Minaj. Busta, what it is right now. Busta, what it is. Look, and he said that he didn't do it. He said, I didn't do it, that the allegations are bogus. Are they? That the allegations are bogus. He's tired of people using his good name. We'll see if anything else comes from it. Listen, people are going on hard times. A lot of people are losing their jobs and they're trying to figure out how to pay these house notes and car notes and stuff like that. And these lawsuits are coming in fast and furious, period. Hold on, y'all. But yeah, his name ain't Buster for no reason. Woo, child. Anyway, we shall see. We shall see what happens. Good luck to him. I think that's horrible if people are just out here making false allegations. It ruins people's reputations. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to get into your 50s and 60s and shit like that and think you done got away with some shit and it comes back on you either. Y'all need to be getting your lives right with Jesus and talking to these people and making settlements early. Do it now before you get yourself in more trouble. Okay. So let's talk about somebody else. Hold on. We'll get to it. Who else do I have to? Oh my goodness. I forgot about this story. I had missed a few days, y'all, so I'm trying to catch up. Bear with me. Who's coming back as a friend of the show on Real Housewives of Atlanta? It's not NeNe, that's for sure. Y'all, Kim Zolciak, allegedly. Okay, Kim Zolciak is allegedly coming back. Y'all know she was on Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen. And Andy had came out and dropped the bomb and said, child, we need to know. We heard you stole Adriana's money, but did you steal Brielle's money too? There was a whole lot going on, child. But right now, they are saying that Kim Zolciak has been offered a ticket back onto the show. Okay, and Sheree's coming back as well. According to the powers that be, they said NeNe Leakes will not be returning, even though NeNe did admit on social media that she had reached out to the producers and said, hey, I'm available. I would love to return to the show. She was not given a nod. No nod for NeNe Leakes. But they are saying that Sheree Whitfield, who right now it's being alleged has a whole lot of tax problems, that there may be a lien on the home that she lives in, that fancy Chateau Sheree, that's in her mama's name, allegedly. They're saying there's a lien on that and that she owes hundreds of thousands in back taxes. So that's a lot of money, child, that can get her in the pokey the same way as Peter Thomas. But she is alleged again to be returning for next season, along with Kim Zolciak. And they did say that Sheree Whitfield has officially assigned on for season 17. She'll likely play a friend role, not a full-time role. Why would RHOA invite KKK Kim back? I don't know. A lot of us do remember Kim's exit when she said, everybody knows that racism doesn't exist anymore, Sheree. Everybody knows this. Why in the hell would those girls say that to me? I don't have time for this racism shit. Yeah, we all remember that, child. Kim needs the money, especially since her husband and Big Papa are gone. I heard that Big Papa's still alive, child. I heard that he's still alive and kicking, and he's officially divorced because Bravo don't care. Okay, Bravo don't care about the minorities. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do here, bringing them back as OGs and friends of the show and not bringing in the official OG. Maybe they're trying to see if, they can get the new girls to, I don't know, perform a little better. According to Don Juan, Candy's manager, or whatever he does for her now, he runs some sort of gossip page. He said that there's someone who's literally auditioning for their spot. He said, even though they've brought in, I don't know, 6 new girls, he said it's only going to be 5 that ends up staying. So someone's going to get kicked off, I guess, mid-season or after a couple of episodes. They said that person's going to be gone. So really, in order to get them to step up to the plate and perform, they're making the girls activate like they used to do. Okay. Cookie Clark said, you stopped watching RHOA and will not watch it, especially since they're bringing racist KKK back to another, using Black folks to get ahead again. Again, when did it stop, girl? Listen, maybe they thought, because y'all know that was Nene's entire argument with the network, that she felt like there were certain people that didn't look like her who got away with a whole lot of things. And if the brown skin girls tried to pull one of those cards, they were told, get to work or go home. Okay, get to work or you're gonna be fired. Don't know. At the end, Nene ended up saying that she did not think that Kim was racist. She did come out and make that statement that her and Kim had a lot of fun. I think her and Kim did some sort of event together too. So who knows? Who knows? That is crazy. Okay, that's it though. Let's talk about. They probably can lowball Kim and Sheree and doesn't want to pay Nene her worth. You think so? Not in the budget. Not in the budget. Okay, you might be right, child. Now, Nene did say that the money was right when they gave her the offer for Traders. She said she didn't have no problem with the money. But yeah, that other money might be, maybe she wanted them to match. I don't know, but they didn't give her the offer, so she didn't even have a chance to negotiate. All right, let's talk about Jalen, Kimmy, and Maurice real fast. I don't know if you got an opportunity to see my review yesterday for Love and Marriage Huntsville Season 10, Episode 4. But we have all been talking about Jalen, Kimmy, and Maurice. And toward the end of my review, child, we were all trying to figure out, how old was Jalen? When did this show come on air? Was Jalen still a kid when this show came on air? And why didn't they give us this damn story then and not now? You know what I'm saying? Then as opposed to now. Because Kimmy and Maurice, is Kimmy and Maurice divorced? I don't think so. I think they're still married. Kimmy is an empty nester officially. Because they showed a video the other day of Monster packing his things and driving over to the college. Okay. So I don't think that there's any divorce for her. Hopefully Nene never, ever, ever, ever comes back to RHOA. You're not a Nene fan? I like Nene. Anyway, so right now it is all Kimmy and all Maurice, and child, you feel, when that house is empty, when the kids go, that's a lonely ass feeling, okay? You got to figure out what to do with yourself. Hey, Miss Val, nice to have you in here. But yes, so anyway, we were trying to figure it out. Now, I had to think back on some things. Y'all had my mind going yesterday, and I was like, let me find out when Jalen came on this damn show, because he came on, he had a baby face. He didn't have no hair on his face. He was shy about being on camera. Y'all remember? So he was all, yes, sir, yes, ma'am. Every time the camera would pan to him, he'd be looking down and shit. But Jalen was a grown ass man when he was on this show. When he first started filming this show, Jalen was in his teens. Kimmy met Maurice and had him cut his hair. I'm talking about when the show started filming, though. He was 13 when Kimmy and Maurice became a couple. He was 13. But on the show, when he signed a contract to get paid, he was a grown man. I checked, I did the work. Jalen has been done wrong by everyone in that family, and Kimmy needs her ass kicked. Tisha and Marceau treated him like a slave. He ran black while they played outside. Maurice isn't a good dad to Monster. Let's talk about it. Look, let me show y'all what I found out, because I was like, look, at first I thought he graduated when he was in college, like we saw his college graduation, but then people were convincing me that it was his high school graduation, and I was like, damn, I thought I knew. Hold on, let me show y'all what I discovered. I had to go stalk Jalen's page. Y'all see that? Let me take this banner down real quick. Y'all see the date? Jalen is sitting there with his Q-Dog shirt on, okay, doing the hand jive signals, doing his hand jive. April 12th, 2018. Jalen was 20 years old in 2018. That's when they started filming. The show actually makes air. It premiered in 2019, January 2019. So Jalen was grown. He was already trying to figure out how to put sugar in the Lamborghini, in the tank, okay? He was going to put sugar in Maurice's in Maurice's gas tank. So yes, it was college. It was college. He had already got a bunch of friends. They had already considered meeting Maurice in the alley, okay? And possibly giving them ones and twos for everything that he thought was wrong back in the day. But yes, so he's 20 in 2018. Here's proof that the show came on in January of 2019. He would have been 21 in 2019 when the show first airs. So he was grown, even though we saw him with that little baby face, he was grown. And then I remembered there was a scene where him, Maurice, and Marceau talk about him pledging, and but he would have already pledged, so they took creative license. Or I think, yeah, maybe, because it was 2018, right? Season 2, episode 13, Jalen's graduation party. Thank you, Chronic. Yes, you're right. That's what I remembered. Kimmy had a dual graduation party, Maurice in law school, and then Jalen. And she said they couldn't have the party they wanted because of the panorama. And so people were coming to that little intimate dinner party. She had on a mask. People were wearing face masks. Remember, Wanda crashed the party. Banana in the tailpipe, that Beverly Hills Cop. Facts, okay? Yes, so season 2 is when they have the graduation party for Jalen. Let me show y'all what else, just so y'all can know. Jalen is 27 years old in this year of our Lord and Savior, 2025, okay? In 2024, y'all see it, May 22nd. His birthday is May 22nd, 1998. In 2024, he said this is year 26. So 26 last year, 27 this year. He was not a child on the show. We thought he was a child. He's still handling grown people problems. Okay, he's just now still getting big with the folks. And since this show came on in 2019, it's only been on for 6 years. It's only been on for 6 years. This is officially the 6th year. Let's see. They bring nothing to the show. I haven't watched in 2 seasons. Really? GG. Had Kimmy and Maurice been living together for 7 years before the show? That is what was said. So if that was the case, that's how they described it. They had been together for 7 years. I don't know when they started living together, but they had been together for 7 before he popped the question. Before he popped the question, before he proposed. So I don't know how that works with the show, but yeah, he wasn't a baby. It was Monster that was a baby. Because remember, Kimmy and Maurice get into a fight over Kiowa, and she said, "You let that bitch say anything about me, okay? You never take up for me." And while she was like almost in tears complaining about Kiowa, Monster walks into the room, and then he put his finger up and turned out like, "Ooh, I'm not supposed to be in here." That shit was funny. Okay. Come on in, everyone. Welcome to the chat. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. Please hit the like button and share the video. Okay. What else do I have for y'all? So yeah, he was 26 last year, and Chronic got it right. Jalen graduated college in 2020. He would have been 22 at this time. Y'all see him with his hat on, his cap, his legs gapped open, his shirt slightly popped. Okay, the collar. And that's when his father figure said, "It's time to put your ass to work. Get a little free labor out of you." At 23, he became the general manager. He became the general manager over there at Black. 23. So he was able to take in, sign for the liquor, because you got to have a person over the age, I think 21, in order to sign for liquor at a bar. If I'm not mistaken. Thank you. Keep hitting that like button, please, and thank you. But anyway, there was 2 things that I forgot to share. So those are the receipts that I wanted to show y'all, because I was like, we're all off when it comes to Kimmy and when they brought this shit to air. Now, a lot of people didn't like Kimmy's story, especially now. There's people that just feel Kimmy ain't who they thought Kimmy was. You said Jalen is funny looking. Jalen can grow a beard now. I didn't even think Jalen could grow a beard. So let's start there. But Jalen, you know, I think Jalen's a daddy now. He damn near 30. Okay. But yeah, I had forgot to tell y'all a couple of things. So I wanted to share that with y'all because I didn't realize how deep it got with Jalen and Maurice. Y'all remember in the scene, there was a couple of things that happened. Number 1, I forgot to tell y'all this. When Marceau and Maurice are going at it with each other about Maurice being the golden child, Kimmy Scott chimes in and said, he is the golden child. And y'all know Tisha, being the natural born instigator that she is, because she has been instigating some shit this season. But she said, "Who you talking about? Maurice or Jalen?" And Kimmy says, "Jalen. I'm talking about Jalen. He really is the golden child." Maurice gives Kimmy a nasty stare down. This was the scene where he looks her in the eye like, he said, "Wow. Okay, like, you wait until company leaves. When company leaves, we going at it, okay? Come on in, everybody. Welcome to the chat." Big D was chasing that baby on the show. Who? I think Jalen is really smart. I think he's really smart, and it might just come across as a little nerdy. But yeah, he's in tech. He's in the tech field. He does cybersecurity at that. So he got to keep up with some shit. Oh, Jalen. You said, did Big D Destiny steal his virginity? I don't know. That is hilarious. I don't think so. I think it was supposed to be a joke, but because I think Kimmy looked like she was about to fall out when that picture came out. But anyway, that's what happened at the table. That was the first thing. And then the second thing where Jalen got Maurice back again was when he meets up with Maurice and Marceau for lunch. Okay. When he met up with Maurice and Marceau for lunch, Marceau was shooting the shit with Jalen and he said, "Hey, congratulations on that investment property." And he's like, "Thank you, thank you." He was like, "Yeah, yeah." And then he looks over at Maurice. He went, "Wait a minute. Uh, have you seen the investment property? Have you been over there yet?" So clearly, Jalen seems like he's cut Maurice out of all facets of his life. Because Maurice says, "No, I haven't been over there." He said, "I was waiting for an invite." And sometimes when people say stuff like that, you try to soften the blow and you'll say things like, "You can come over anytime. You don't need to be invited to my house or whatever." Jalen doesn't say anything. Jalen said, "You ain't over there. You ain't coming over there. Okay." What, lonely for who, Diana? What are you talking about? I don't remember what I said, child. Um, the way they talked about him on that show made him look like he was on the spectrum. Oh, really? Okay. Um, Gigi Child, help me. I don't know what you're talking about, but I want to laugh because y'all got a whole bunch of emojis going on. I want to know what you're talking about. Jalen knows that Maurice was always in competition with him. Well, Jalen, when he says that, Jalen doesn't offer him an olive branch. He didn't say, "Child, you invited over anytime." He stayed mute. And then Maurice was like, "Well, I'm the one who got you into real estate, right?" Um, Big D is destiny. Yes, I remember saying that. He said, "I'm the one who got you into real estate, right? You wouldn't even know anything about real estate if it wasn't for me." That's one of the things that Maurice said about the show, that he was the one who was doing real estate before anybody else. He had a real estate portfolio that he would say it was worth millions of dollars, and that it took a hit during the 2008 housing crash, when the housing market crashed in 2008. He said that's when his shit took a hit, and he lost a lot of money. But he thinks, "Listen, I'm the one who got you involved in the property, and you didn't even invite me over." And Jalen gave him nothing. Nothing. I was like, "Oh my God, I missed that the first go round." I had to go back and watch. Um, let's see. He looks better then than now. He talks like a cartoon character. Ooh. But yeah, that was hilarious. So I think that the beef between Jalen and Maurice is real. And I think that even though, Jalen was being respectful, he was taking his jabs. At the end of the day, he said, "I don't believe you. I don't believe that you're going to treat me better if I work for you. And in fact, I'm going to do you a solid. I'm moving. I'm leaving the state. Okay. You can call me." Okay. So he didn't give a damn. Never going to get it. Never going to get it. Okay. And so he said, "Don't want it, child." Anyway, that was it. I just wanted to say we actually started this show with Jalen being a grown ass man. We started the show with Jalen being a grown ass man, and Kimmy basically just saying, "As a man, I want to get him grown enough so that he's out of the house. He doesn't start with any debt," which I thought was very admirable. That is an amazing goal to have for yourself and your child. She started him with investment properties too. And prior to his leaving to go to Denver, he had bought his third property. So he got money coming in from 3 houses in Alabama while he's someplace else. And I guess Kimmy or whatever company he hired to manage it will keep his money rolling in. Kimmy over in that corner looking at Stormy, looking like Stormy's mom, right? Kimmy giving them lips are tooted up. That is hilarious. Okay, child, I just wanted us all on the same page. because I was confused. But when I went back to look at that scene, Maurice was Maurice was a mess. Maurice is a mess. And the fact that Jayla didn't say, "You're invited to my house, the house that I bought, you're not invited over." Who wouldn't want their parents to visit them at the house that they just bought on their own? Marcel went to visit, but Maurice did not. If that's not a pow pow, nothing is. Okay? Anyway, I just wanted to know what y'all thought. I don't know if we'll get any more of Jalen after this, but that was interesting. Y'all want to talk about Marquez real quick? I might as well put him on the table. Hold on, let me get up a screen for him. Maurice wants Monster all Jalen has. Hold on. Maurice wants for Monster all Jalen has off the back of Kimmy. What do y'all think is going to happen now that Kimmy and Maurice are by themselves and they don't have, the baby anymore or a child in the house? Glad that Jalen has given Maurice the gas face, his ass to kiss, okay? Jalen doesn't like Maurice the way he treated Kimmy. Yeah, that was a big one. And I told y'all that. Two things happened. Jalen did come on that show and say, listen, I never saw my mama cry. I never saw my mama cry before this show. The first time she was in tears is when Maurice said, I've invited my ex-wife to live with me and you just gonna have to find a way to deal with it. He said, but you don't get a say-so in it. You don't get a say-so. Tough. Take it. Okay. And then Kimmy had, I think there was two conversations she had. One was in a interview, and then there was another she did on the show where she said that Jalen's dad had taken her to court for full custody. And I guess this was when she was like really struggling, maybe trying to take care of her child, going to nursing school at night. She said, I was struggling, and this man had me paying out money I didn't have to fight to keep my baby. So it's a lot. Oh, Cece, thank you. Or Cece, Coco Lee, thank you. I appreciate you. You are so sweet. But at the end of the day, when he said, I don't like that man doesn't answer my phone calls and all that stuff, I was like, yikes. There's definitely a power struggle between Jalen and Maurice, and we all know it. Period. Am I right? We all know there's a power struggle. Because he decided not to tell Jalen what was going on with his mama when Jalen was grown. He said he won't answer his phone. And he said, when I come over to the house, they're not there. He does not check in with me at all about my sick mama. Okay. All right. Let's get into this other story real fast. Here. When it rains, it pours, don't it? Y'all see that? That is Marquez Burnett with Carlos King. Now, if y'all don't remember, a couple of short months ago, not even that damn long ago, Marquez put a message on his IG where he said, bitch, to Carlos King. He said, you don't care about me. You don't care about my damn feelings, telling me that I need to go to counseling, go to therapy in order to be on one of your shows. He said, bitch, you don't care about me. You don't care about my kids. You have a horrible work environment. Child, he said everything he possibly could, threw it all at the damn wall, child. I never want to fuck with you or that show. If you cared about me, you would have called me. okay, personally, to ask me what was going on. It was bad. It was bad. Okay. Got fired on his day off and, okay, and decided to tell his employer what he thought about him. Kiss the black underside of my ass. Okay. The empty nester. Empty nester is going to be a test for Kimmy and Maurice. Now it makes sense why Kimmy won't call Ariane coleslaw. I think she calls her coleslaw now, though. Now that she said that Ariane put her, she said that before Ariane had put that picture out there of Maurice and said that he had a linebacker, she said, I never had the trouble that I have on this show. And she said she didn't want to have anything to do with her. Now, it could have changed, but she definitely said it then. Please explain the firing on his day off. Because the fight scene, when we see the fight scene, that didn't get him fired. That didn't get him fired. What got him fired, according to him, is that he was interviewing, and because he was giving all of the storyline and what happened away, they let him go because he went against his contract. You're not supposed to talk about the season. So he got fired on his day off. He got fired on his day off because he forgot that he was under a contract. That's funny. Anyway, after that happened, now I had saw him in person. He is so thin, like the camera really does add 10 pounds to you, because in person, yes, that's why he got fired on his day off. I saw him in person, and because I had went to see Heavenly and the folks over there talk, but even then he was talking too much. He was in the crowd. He was in the audience, and someone said Marquez is here, and they invited him on stage, and he started talking, and people were like, whoa, 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 you giving away the storyline. Cut. And he was like, oh yeah, I forgot. I can't say that, blah, 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 blah. So he forgot. That's what happened to the Man Child podcast. What happened to the Man Child podcast? Who? Uh-oh. But yes, that's what happened. Anyway, he ended up, I guess, meeting up with Carlos King, and he probably started crying in his milk. He had a moment, child, where he spilled all the beans. I am sure he put his heart on his sleeve, and he shared everything he possibly could in order to, make things right between him and Carlos King. And then after, he got a little hope from Carlos, he went over to the IG, which is his official PR page, and he said, at Carlos King, I wanted to take the moment to apologize and acknowledge my prior actions aimed at you personally. After speaking with you, I can admit that I had an emotional reaction at the time. But since then, I've been doing the work, getting counseling, focusing on healing and my mental health and family. I am truly grateful for the conversation that we had that night. It stuck with me, and it helped me start seeing things differently from your perspective. And I thank you with the prayer hands. And he said, and hey, maybe one day you'll let me back on the show so that I can tell my story the right way this time. Okay. And then he said, I am the storyline 100%. And he showed that him and Carlos King had a little bro moment. Okay. A little a mano moment between the two of them. What do y'all think about that? Are y'all ready to see Marquez on your screen again? Do you want to hear the rest of his story? What? Carlos doesn't care. He done. Um, anyway, that's what's happening now. I'm just saying. He has a change of heart. He has a change of heart. Oh, Marcy, are you saying yes? You would like to see him on your screen again? You'd like to hear him tell his side of the story? Marquez, stop carrying on. Stop carrying on, child, like a little kid. No, no, and no. Okay? No, no, and no. We shall see what happens next. We shall see what happens. I mean, hopefully this storyline will move far beyond this shit where they are now. Because this was if I'm not mistaken, I heard that they're supposed to be officially divorced next month. Ken and not Ken. They're supposed to be officially divorced next month, Marquez and Trisha. I think they go to court next month. And maybe if they can get things squared away, because they haven't lived together. So, yeah. Let's see. To be honest, what would be Trish and Ken's storyline? This season, Trisha is going into therapy. So whatever's going to happen between her and Ken is going to put her in therapy, I think. And even what happened with her and Marquez, where Marquez threatened her and said that he wished she was in the ground like her mother, sister, and daddy. And he said some shit like, don't play with me. Don't play with me. You have no idea what I'm capable of. Keep with me. Keep pushing me. And he made threats against the whole family like, we'll all go. Okay. I'll do a Romeo and Juliet in this motherfucker. Okay. After that threat, I believe that Trisha had put out some information saying, that's it for me. I got to heal. She's going into therapy. And I also think she talked about it in an interview. Don't know what Ken, maybe his business with Will. Perhaps he's going to film more with Will. I don't know. We already know his story. I agree. We know a lot of it. But sometimes people get kind of, trapped in the thinking that if you don't tell it, if I don't tell it this way, then, it doesn't get told. People are going to think whatever they want to about it. So it doesn't matter at the end of the day. But positives. The positive is, number one, he seemed to have taken accountability and saying, listen, it was me. I had an emotional moment. I shouldn't have done that. And number two, saying that he is in therapy. He's going through counseling and he's trying to be a better person. I think that is, that's commendable. That's commendable. Not everybody gets there. So he got there. Good for him. Now let's see if he can put it to work. All right. But yeah, that was the other thing that happened, I guess, earlier this week. I guess that was the other thing that happened. And that's it. That's all. Okay. Y'all got anything else y'all want to say in the comments before we get this wrapped up? Kevin. Okay, tell me what you're talking about, prosperity. Let's talk about this for a half a second, because y'all forget the reason why everybody was calling Ken a simp is because from the time Martell came on screen with Trisha wasn't being honest. We knew she was in that relationship, but she wasn't being honest. And you remember he comes home and she goes, I got something to tell you. And then she braces herself and closed her eyes and went, I did go to Martell's house. And he's sitting there like, he didn't even know Trisha was capable of lying like that. Like he didn't even know. And he was like, oh my God, like, Bitch, who are you? Am I sleeping with the enemy? He didn't know. Listen, we gotta look at it from both sides. He didn't know. He didn't know. He was trying to figure that shit out. And it happened in that moment. That was a real moment. Okay. He clasped his hands together, child. Like, woo. That was one of the last scenes. By the time we get to him and Trisha, and he was like, "You're the problem. You're the problem." And she was like, "No, you're the problem. You're the problem." Like they're screaming at each other. And then he said, "Fuck it. I pay for everything." Listen, that is a move that anybody would have made. Y'all keep acting like that's not a real deal moment. Is that look, is that phrase against the law? Is that against the law? Tell me, who was more wrong? Trisha for being in a relationship, sleeping with a man, having a person. Imagine if your boyfriend, let's flip it, because we're looking at it from the man point of view, and or we're looking at Ken doing, and we're like, bitch, never, ever, ever, ever. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't you ever talk to me like that. For the women, if your man had you in a room with a bitch that he probably was messing with before, okay? And every time you walk into a room, you can tell people are giggling at you, that everybody knows the business except for you. They're making inside jokes and you are completely clueless. Because when you ask the question, your man is like, I never mess with her. I don't even know what that's about. And then finally he confesses, "I got something to tell you. I was at the house and blah, blah, blah." Wouldn't you be like, you get the fuck out right now? I mean, it could be just me, but I would be like, baby, I need time, child. You aren't going to have me out here looking like a crazy person. Are you out of your mind? Especially with women giggling and laughing in people's face, they were making a straight ass out of Ken. Martell was like, "So you're the side nigga." Like everybody was making fun of Ken that season. Everybody, even the kids. Chris and Nell Fletcher had in on it, child. Every person on the cast had a laugh at Ken's expense. Everybody. You said they're moving on like it didn't happen. Okay. I think it was just a fight. I think that's just how they fight. They talked about it a little bit online. They said that he moved out and then moved back in for a little bit. I think that's just how they fight. Is it wrong? Maybe you'll learn more about it in therapy. If she brings her therapy sessions to the show, maybe we'll learn a little bit more about it. He allowed his to be the joke by acting like Trish is honest. Maybe he just found out that she wasn't. In what space would he have learned this information otherwise? In what space would he have learned it? It doesn't look like they hang in the same circles. I mean, that's a real deal moment. That was a real deal moment. He was pissed. I mean, he tried to hold it together. Hmm. There's a lot of people sleeping with married people. Sounds like that's what the whole entire show was about from episode 1. People sleep with married people on this show. A lot of people do. Okay. Anyway, I don't know. I'm not giving Marquez that much. I think that when Marquez came on the show and said he didn't pay for his kids, I thought that was a lot to also take in. Trish has many feelings occurring. But yeah, anywho, anyway, anyhow, okay. Thank y'all for coming in and hanging out. This was fun, child. We got some information off. It was nice to have all of y'all hanging out in the chat. I don't know. If I find out for you, Marie, I will definitely talk about it. We'll talk about it if any information comes out. But right now, I want to thank every single one of y'all for coming through and supporting the video, especially my moderators. I appreciate every single one of y'all. Y'all are dope for volunteering your time, child. Okay. So thank y'all for that. But hit the like button, please, and thank you. Hit the like button, share the video, y'all. Follow me on all my platforms at DYANAROZAY. Let me put myself back on screen real fast. Follow me on all my platforms at DYANAROZAY, okay? I put fun stuff on everything, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Appreciate y'all rocking with me, and I'll talk to you on the next one. Bye-bye.